This is why I push people to show every part of their lives. You never know if it's heavy metal, right? Or it's growing up with, immigrant parents, right? Or sports culture, right? Like, you don't know what the relevance is, but there's always relevance.
So another direction I want to kind of go in is sales versus marketing. Marketing is getting someone's attention. Sales is actually closing the deal and making them a customer. What is your take on that whole concept?
I spend 90% of my energy on marketing, and everybody thinks they're marketing, and they're spending 100% of their time on sales.
Are you finding that most sales industries are lazy compared to what they were even 10, 20 years ago?
No, I think they're basic. I think they're basic. They think the sale is, that's their religion. It's the number right now, and they're not thoughtful. They don't understand the expense of it. I understand that when I send a second text for wine text, that a lot of people are going to unsubscribe. But I made more sales, so yay, I got 360 more bottles, but at what cost? I just lost 44 people that will never buy. People don't think. People think in CAC, customer acquisition cost. They don't think in LTV. Do you know people that are listening right now did a large transaction with somebody and after that transaction have never interacted with that person ever again? Mm-hmm. I believe that, and that's why that just resonated with all of you, right? Mm-hmm. Why don't you send somebody a $23 fucking fruit basket with a nice card that maybe references some moment during your interaction when you saw the pretty bird or you spilled coffee on yourself, to show them you actually are a human, which then will actually lead to, like, maybe them referring you to somebody else. You're spending all your time hunting for the other thing, yet now that you got their commission and you signed them up or you sold them the house, you never talk to them again. That is 98% of the behavior of 98% of the agents.
So good.
Right?
It is.
Like,
it's so true.
Why don't you have a basic system that sends somebody a nice gift with a handwritten card? Because the gift's easy, and then eventually doesn't feel human. With a handwritten card on the 1-year anniversary of the closing of your deal. That happens to be the time where I might just have dinner with friends that night and say, somebody sent me a Jets pie today that I did my fucking brokerage deal with. And they're like, oh, actually, we're in the market for, we need mortgage. We need to refinance. I'm like, oh, you have to go with Don. He sends fucking Jets pies.
Jet pie real thing.
But no, everybody wants to cold call, right, or direct mail or fucking, I'm so fucking.
Well, and that's one of the reasons
the level of disrespect I have for the other person that's listening to this podcast right now is enormously high. And don't let disrespect come across mean. It's just that I'm just so passionate to get people to do new shit.
Get out of their comfort zone.
Somebody's about to take your lunch.
When I love so much your content is about understanding and paying attention to the most basic of human behaviors.
Correct.
And understanding what it's about. We talk about effective marketing as the balance of trust and attention. It's not good enough just to be out there blasting yourself all over social media.
And trust is an interesting word because I think it leads to behavior that's a little one-dimensional. I think it's relevance.
Relevance.
Right? So like trust can hurt people because I believe when you say that, people on the other side then start with overselling themselves to provide trust.
Got it.
You see where I'm going?
Absolutely.
I'm thinking about Karen right now who hears this. She's motivated. She's like, fuck it, I'm making my first LinkedIn video. And she hears trust, which makes sense. I don't think,
Reputation.
But I'm starting to learn that words matter more than I've thought. People are pretty semantical. When I hear trust as Karen, who just got motivated finally because I'm putting pressure on the system, and she's gonna make her LinkedIn video, she hears trust and she's gonna start with a heavy sell up front. I've been doing this for 23 years, right? Whereas meanwhile, the way that Karen would have gotten my business is by making a reference to the Jets game against the Eagles this weekend. Because that's relevance. Or,
Absolutely.
Or being an immigrant.
Absolutely.
Or liking root beer. This is why I push people to show every part of their lives. You never know if it's heavy metal, right? Or it's growing up with, immigrant parents, right? Or sports culture, right? Like, you don't know what the relevance is, but there's always relevance.
For sure.
And the number one advantage everybody has on the other side of this is the most unique thing about you is you. It is peeing your pants in second grade. a story I've shared. It is, the way I became a Jets fan because I needed something to latch on to America. Something I shared. My report card. Something. You know how many people follow me because they sucked in high school too?
It's relatable.
It's relevance.
Relevance.
And it's true.
Yep.
I like hip hop music. I like football. Notice how little I talk about fucking video games. I fucking am very aware that video game culture is a great content pillar for me to play on. But I have to share, when I do, I have to share that I can beat everybody in ice hockey for Nintendo because that's the last time I was a gangster in video games. 1987.
Super tech mobile.
I don't talk about Fortnite. I talk about the culture of Fortnite. So you stay in your lane, you stay around your passions, and you build a community around interests.
Love it.
And then when you're localized around that interest, you put out a LinkedIn piece of content around Zelda. You sell mortgages in fucking Des Moines, Iowa, and you find yourself 8 weeks later in a coffee shop with 11 people, all dressed up as fucking Link and Peach, and 4 days later you closed your biggest deal. That's way better than a direct mail piece or a cold call or a fucking bench ad. Here's why it's better. Because you had fun when you fucking dressed up as a mushroom.